Every driver carries two maps in his head. One is the interstate, the exits, the way stations, the steep climbs. The other is older, and it is full of ghosts. There's the stop with the yellow roof that's not there anymore. The diner under the giant dinosaur, where a hot grill once stood. And the town a man built from nothing just to sell you a beer with your meal. These are not on any travel blog. These are the stops drivers still talk about. The ones where the sign is still up but the name changed 3 owners ago, or the exit where you still catch yourself slowing down for the ramp, and there is nothing there but an empty lot. The worst loss on this list belongs to a man who got so tired of driving to buy a legal beer that he built his own town to sell it to himself. He turned it into the place country singer Willie Nelson played every 4th of July. And 40 years later, the same legal system that could have let him sell alcohol instead put his whole life's work up for auction. You will not believe what the new owner did with his stage. Let's get into it. Number 9, we start where the loss is smallest, because this one is still open. The Glass House restaurant opened in 1957 on the Will Rogers Turnpike in Oklahoma, the world's first bridge restaurant. At some point, it became a McDonald's. Then in 2013, it closed for repairs, and when it reopened, it was called the Will Rogers Archway. The building never closed for good. It just got renamed until the original name meant nothing. A driver reaches the top of the turnpike at night, sees that bridge lit up, pulls in, and the kid behind the counter has no idea the place was ever called the Glass House. That is the weakest loss on this list, and exactly why it opens the countdown. The stop still works. What is lost is the name. If a name can disappear while the building stands, what happens when an entire chain is stripped from the inside? Number 8. Stuckey's started in the 1930s. W.S. Stuckey Sr. sold pecans, a nut, and his wife Ethel's pecan log rolls from a roadside stand in Georgia. By the early 1960s, over 368 stores with blue-green roofs lined the highways. After the family sold in 1964, corporate owners closed most of the stores. By the late 1970s, only 75 remained. Picture a driver in the 1960s spotting that blue-green roof a mile out, the pecan log rolls waiting. Today, that same driver looks for it and finds an empty lot or a different brand. This is what happens when a company takes over and removes everything valuable. The pecan log rolls survived, but the blue-green roof that made them famous is mostly gone. Some franchisees did not wait for the chain to die. They built their own legend, starting from nothing. Number 7. Ivan J. Nickerson ran a Stuckey's franchise, but he wanted a full sit-down restaurant. So he built his own chain, Nickerson Farms. Red Tudor-style roofs and live honeybees in clear plastic hives built into the dining room, making honey sold right in the store. At its peak, about 60 locations across the Midwest. A family walks in during the 1970s. The room buzzes with bees behind glass. Kids press their faces to the plastic. The waitress brings hot bread with honey butter. The 1970s fuel shortages and fast food competition killed sit-down restaurants, and the company went bankrupt in the mid-1980s. The trick that made this chain famous, bees working behind glass, is exactly the kind of weird, specific detail a bypassed exit, an exit the highway no longer goes to, cannot save. For every independent with a trick, there was a corporate giant that tried to buy what the independents built. Number 6. Horne's started in Florida in 1953. Under the bus company Greyhound's ownership, at its peak in the mid-1960s, it had over 60 locations across 8 states. Southern cooking, motor lodges, gift shops. By the late 1970s, highway travel had changed. Interstates and fast food made full-service restaurants hard to keep going. The last Horne's closed in 1982. One former location in Lottie, Florida, kept a 15-foot alligator, a large reptile named Abe Lincoln, in a pen with 3 fences out front. The pen is empty now, but visitors say the building still smells like orange-scented perfume balls and pecan logs, the same sweet treat Stuckey's was famous for. Even with Greyhound's support, a full-service stop could not survive once the interstate changed. The alligator pen is long empty, That is what remains. That is Greyhound, 1982. Hold that name, because the next 3 stops prove the killing was not always the interstate. Number 5. Whiting Brothers had no big company behind it. Just 4 brothers and cheap gas. At its height, it had more than 100 stations. At least 40 were on Route 66, plus 15 motels across 6 states. The 1970s fuel shortages hit right when the new interstates bypassed the old U.S. routes, and by the mid-1980s the chain was finished. One man, Sal Lucero, bought a former station in Moriarty, New Mexico in 1985 and still runs it as a repair garage, the last active site with original Whiting Brothers signs. A 6-state, over 100-station empire is down to that one sign, kept alive by a preservation grant. This is the interstate bypass story in its clearest form. No scandal, no fire, just a highway that stopped needing you. Every one of these stops had its own trick. The bees, the alligator, the yellow roof. Drop in the comments the one weird thing you remember from a truck stop that is not there anymore. That will tell the rest of us who actually made it this deep into the video. And while you're typing, subscribe. It is free, not like everything else that used to be free at these places before the chains bought them. 3 more to go and it gets worse. Next, torn down to nothing. After that, a dinosaur standing over nothing. And the worst loss, a man who built his own town and lost it anyway. Number 4, the Dixie Truckers' Home. In McLean, Illinois, started in 1928 as a sandwich stand inside a truck mechanic's garage. By 1930, it was a full restaurant, survived a fire, and by 1990, it was famous enough to house the Route 66 Hall of Fame. And the founders were welcomed into the hall inside the very building they built. In 2003, the original families sold. The new owners renamed it, and the Hall of Fame moved away. After more ownership changes, it is now a Road Ranger travel plaza. The place that got voted into the Hall of Fame is the place the Hall of Fame itself moved out of. And then there were the places that did not just lose their name, they lost the whole building. Number 3. The Club Cafe opened in 1935 in Santa Rosa, New Mexico, right as Route 66 was completed through town. Its mascot was the Fat Man, a smiling round figure in a tie with bright dots, displayed on billboards for miles. A sign inside proudly announced that the place had served 2 million biscuits. When I-40 bypassed Santa Rosa, the cafe closed in 1992. The building sat empty until it was torn down in 2015. The original Fat Man sign survived at a local auto museum, and the name was licensed to a new restaurant. The mascot was saved. The building that made him famous did not survive. The interstate that fed every stop on this list is the same interstate that starved this one. I-40 gave Santa Rosa speed and took its diner. At least one stop left a landmark so big you can see it from the interstate after the building is gone. Number 2, Claude Bell bought land in the California desert in 1946 and opened the Wheel-In Cafe in 1958, a truck stop diner just off I-10. To pull travelers off the highway, Bell built 2 giant concrete dinosaurs by hand. One was Denny, a 150-ton brontosaurus, finished in 1975. The other, Mr. Rex, a 100-ton tyrannosaurus. You would come over a hill on a hot desert afternoon and see a 5-story dinosaur standing over a truck stop. The dinosaurs became world famous from the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure. The diner closed in 2013, and by 2017, the building was gone. The dinosaurs were sold earlier. You can still pull off I-10 and stand where the cooking grill was. Look up at the dinosaur that used to sell it. The landmark stayed, and the truck stop underneath it is the part that is gone. Every stop before this one died from something you could see coming. An interstate, a fuel crisis, a chain owner that only cares about numbers. The worst loss on this list is none of those things. It is a man who built his own town just to sell you a beer, and lost it anyway. Number 1. Carl Cornelius ran a truck stop in mostly dry Hill County, Texas. Instead of fighting the county for a permit to sell alcohol, he created his own town, Carl's Corner, for exactly that reason. Through the early 1980s, his truck stop grounds hosted Willie Nelson's 4th of July picnics, with thousands of people at a Texas truck stop. Cornelius and Nelson later rebuilt the site as Willie's Place. It was a complex with a restaurant, a 750-seat theater, a Willie Nelson museum, and a plant that made fuel from plants. It lasted about 3 years before a loan went unpaid and the bank took the property. In March 2011, Travel Centers of America bought the property at a courthouse auction. A TA spokesman told reporters, "We will have an Iron Skillet restaurant, and the site has been pre-approved as a Dunkin' Donuts location." The theater, the museum, gone, replaced by the same tan chain look you would find off any exit. Today it is a standard Petro TA. Carl Cornelius died September 21st, 2021. God rest him. He built a town just to sell you a legal drink with your chicken fried steak. The town lasted longer than the truck stop that gave it a reason to exist. Everywhere else, the interstate or the passing of time did the killing. Here, what he built was so one of a kind that when the money ran out, the only replacement was a franchise. Carl's Corner is the worst loss on this list. The same legal system that allowed him to create his town also took everything he had when the money ran out. That is 9 stops and 1 honest pattern. The interstate gets blamed for all of it, and it did kill the ones built on speed. But what really killed the legends was not the road. It was someone buying the name and deciding it was not worth keeping. Every one of them left something behind. A lit sign in a New Mexico garage, a blue-green roof in Georgia, an empty alligator pen in Florida, a dinosaur standing over an empty lot in the California desert. That is what is left when a family business gets sold to a company that only cares about numbers. One weird detail the numbers didn't know to strip. The map in your head still has these exits marked. Maybe that is the whole point of carrying it. So here is the question, and you are the people who have the answers. What is the truck stop on your route that is just gone now? The one you still catch yourself signaling for the exit. Name it and the state. We read every single comment, and the best ones become the next video. Subscribe. It is free and not like the blue-green roof or the yellow sign. It will not disappear on you. Until next time, keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. That means drive safe. And keep that map in your head. Somebody running behind you tonight has not learned it yet.